I am to introduce the second speaker of the session. Dr. Luiz Miguel Cardozo holds a PhD in modern languages and literature in the specialty of comparative literature, University of Coimbra. He is also an adjunct professor at the Department of Language and Communication Sciences at the School of Education and Social Sciences, Polytechnic Institute of Porto Alegre, Portugal. He is a professor of higher education since 1995. He was dean of the School of Education and Social Sciences between 2010 and 2018 and Deputy Director of the Master in Media and Society. He is a researcher at the Center of Comparative Studies at the University of Lisbon. He was a president of ARIPESE, Association of Reflection and Intervention in the Educational Policy of Higher Education Schools in Portugal from 2015 to 2018. He was the coordinator of the Communication Bureau of the Polytechnic Institute of Porto Alegre from 2013 to 2017. His main areas of teaching and research are sciences of language and communication, pedagogical innovation, literacies, education, literature, and cinema, under which he published articles and made presentations in several countries, including Brazil, Spain, France, UK, Italy, Greece, Hungary, Bulgaria, Thailand, Turkey, Colombia, Indonesia, Ukraine, Pakistan, UAE, Philippines, and India. In 2016, he published the book Literature and Cinema, The Look of Janus. He is also a member of several international organizations and associations, as well as a member of the editorial board of international journals in the areas of language and communication sciences, comparative literature, literature and cinema, literacies, and education. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the Department of English, St. John's College of Arts and Science, Mandivillai, Kanyakumari District, India, along with Cape Comorin Trust, India. And the session is open to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your very kind words, for your very kind introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee. It's a great honor and it's a great privilege to be here with you. Among great scholars, among great teachers and researchers. I would also like to thank the opportunity of being here, and I would like to say hello to all the participants. I hope this may be an interesting topic to be approached, and by sharing ideas, I think we all get enhanced and can look at the future with a common ground. That's why these events are so important, because we can meet new points of view, we can share best practices, and first of all, we can, of course, talk about the things that are more important these days regarding education. So I would like to share with you a presentation. I hope this is visible. So again, the topic that I choose for today is education and digital literacies, teaching and learning languages. And nowadays, dear colleagues and dear friends, we are now reaching a great challenge. And the challenge is how to approach the 21st century with digital literacies. Because nowadays, education is not so far away from technology. Education and technology are now mixed together. We cannot leave technology outside our classrooms. We have to use technology because our students are keen on using technology. So technology is a part of our classrooms. Technology is a part of our universities. Technology is a part of our degrees. And this is also why teaching and learning languages must include the use of technology and the use of what we call digital literacies. So first of all, let us understand that digital literacy is a very complex concept that includes how we deal with digital information. First of all, digital information is something that is connected with being ourselves in this empirical world and being something different when we are talking about our web presence or our presence on social media. So we have here a matter about online identity management that we have to deal. So digital literacy is understanding the way we act using websites, the way we act using social media, for example. And it's also a way to understand how we must enhance our digital search skills so that we can reach out and get the information we need to our classrooms and to our students. This means that we also must adapt and must be flexible by using critical thinking in our classrooms so that our students can be prepared for everything that is expecting them in the labor market. And this means that internet safety, for example, or digital plagiarism are challenges that we also have nowadays with our students. So digital literacy is a complex concept that can give us a lot of clues about how we can manage our classrooms, about how we can deliver our curriculum, and how we can achieve our learning goals. Because nowadays, my dear friends, when we compare the skills that are required in the labor market, and for example, let's take a look at the list of skills that was required in 2015 and the list of skills that were required in 2020. And when we compare those two lists, well, we have the same number one skill, that is complex problem solving. And complex problem solving is something that we have to train in our classes, is something that we have to give to our students. So it's a powerful skill that we have to develop. And again, when we compare the skills that were very important in 2015 to those skills that are very important in 2020, we have a lot of changes. For example, emotional intelligence and cognitive flexibility in 2020 came from lower levels of recognition to number 6 and number 10. So this means that the 21st century also changed a lot of paradigms, a lot of frameworks, a lot of guidelines regarding the skills we give to our students, regarding the knowledge we give to our students. And of course, by 2022, when we compare the skills that are growing with the skills that are declining, we can see that what is growing includes analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, creativity, originality, and initiative, technology design and programming, critical thinking and analysis, complex problem solving, leadership and social influence, emotional intelligence, as we said, reasoning, problem solving and ideation, and systems analysis and evaluation. And we also have some skills that are declining. This doesn't mean that these skills are no longer important, but we have other skills that are more important than these ones. So the skills that are declining, according to the World Economic Forum, are manual dexterity, endurance and precision, memory, verbal, auditory and spatial abilities, management of financial material resources, technology installation and maintenance, reading, writing, math, and active listening, management of personnel, quality control and safety awareness, coordination and time management, visual, auditory, and speech abilities, technology use, monitoring, and control. So we have here a lot of differences, my dear friends. And this is why our classrooms must be up to date with these great challenges, because the labor market wants our students to be very well prepared. So we have to give our students these tools. So the importance of using a digital approach in education is also connected with the importance of technology in education, as we all have been discussing so far, because it prepares students for their future careers, helps to support different learning styles, enhances collaboration, improves digital citizenship, that is a great value that today we have in our 21st century, and enhances the learning experience, because our students are so keen in technology. So technology must be an ally. We cannot see technology as a threat. Technology is here to help us to get connected with our students, and improves access to information. The traditional passive learning model is now broken with technology. Technology helps students to be more responsible, and technology transforms the learning experience. So technology can give us a lot of opportunities to change our classes and make them more interesting to our students. Because the 21st century learner is also very different from the 21st century learner. The 21st century learner connects numeracy and literacy, connects collaboration and leadership, critical thinking and problem solving, creativity and innovation, social responsibility and cultural, global and environmental awareness, communication, digital literacy, lifelong learning, self-direction, and personal management. And of course, we have these three major groups: entrepreneurial spirit, engaged thinker, and ethical citizen. So this is our 21st century learner. And we have to adapt. We have to be flexible. We as teachers, we as researchers have to adapt. So our teams on screens are just like this young student over here that is at the same time using a laptop, using phones, texting, playing, talking with his friends on his smartphone. So technology is all around him. And technology also is all around us, teachers. So this is why the Qingdao Declaration from UNESCO 2015 declares that to achieve the goals of inclusive, equitable, and quality education and lifelong learning by 2030, ICT-based teaching and learning needs to be integrated into all sectors of education. However, it also observes that on their own, ICTs will not bring about the required transformation, and that there is a need for well-informed long-term policies and strategies, professional development, and well-researched and innovative methodologies for educational technology to play a central role in building inclusive and sustainable knowledge societies. So education is now at the core of our major challenges in this century. And of course, this means in the European Union that new modes of teaching and learning are a major area of innovation, affecting all areas of European higher education provision. So we have to explore possible new pedagogies. We have to explore blended and online course design. We have to explore e-assessment. We have to explore learning communities, online tutoring, virtual labs and seminars, international online delivery, and so on. So all these great challenges in higher education are possible, and we have to connect, for example, in these conferences with other colleagues to share best practices and to learn from one another how we can succeed with this endeavor. Because it all begins with digital literacy. Digital literacy allows us to create and to understand and how to use and to access information. This is an equilibrium between opportunity and competence. This is, of course, an equilibrium between ICT innovation in ICT with ICT, constructive social action, and critical creative thinking. And of course, the list of responsibilities and tasks is very important. So we have to talk about rights and responsibilities and social awareness, identity, pooling knowledge, judgment, cultural empowerment, citizenship, and so on and so on. So regarding the concept, again, digital literacy is about digital technologies, is about information, academic, media, and data literacy, is about digital citizenship and identity, is about digital creation and communication, is about digital learning, professional and lifelong learning. So digital literacy skills are now very important. How can we define these skills? So digital literacy skills are the ability and know-how of digital skills in conjunction with critical thinking across the various digital platforms and devices. Having digital literacy skills means possessing a combination of digital skills, competence, knowledge, practical ability, research, digital learning, understanding, evaluation, interpretation, creation, and communication. And the area between digital skills and digital literacy is, well, digital literacy skills lie. So let's take a look at some examples of digital literacy skills. So these include app development, data analysis and analytics interpretation, deck presentation creation, digital communication, digital content creation, digital copywriting, information evaluation, photo-visual literacy, search engine optimization, social media content management, and software creation. And when we think about the connection between education and digital literacies, we have to take a look of what are the key digital skills and what are the key elements of digital literacies. So we're talking about word processing, spreadsheet creation, and so on and so on. We're talking about cultural, cognitive, constructive, communicative, confident, creative, critical, civic. And all this connected leads us to digital literacy skills, my friends. So these are very important portraits that we have to follow in order to give our students what they deserve to go to the labor market. So when we put together digital skills and elements of digital literacies, we obtain digital literacy skills. And first of all, how can we get information about digital skills? So of course, in use of technology, by using technology in our classrooms and in our procedures regarding research, everything that is digital can be helpful. So first of all, we have a question. What is digital research nowadays? And why is digital research so important? So digital research can be defined as the use of digital technologies that change the way research is carried out and make it possible to face new challenges in the area. And what is the reason for research? Well, we do not have one reason for research, we have several. So we can divide these reasons in three main areas: exploratory, descriptive, and explanatory. So one can comprehend exploratory with the name that this object is about. Research helps in investigating the gathering of queries. And then we have the descriptive one. So as the name recommends, the descriptive reason for any research is to expand on the data and spread all the untold elements in it. And then we have the explanatory. The function of explanation is indispensable in different types of research. So explaining the issue and why the researchers picked the theme for the research is needful. So when we connect explanatory, descriptive, and explanatory ways of research, we are on track with our challenges. So this means that we, as teachers, as resources, also have to enhance and develop our digital research skills. This combines critical thinking, problem solving, dissemination, and analysis. And these are the four most important domains regarding research skills. And again, I highlight this. In order to give our students the best about digital skills, first, we must prepare ourselves. So first, we must do some very good research so we can obtain the information that will be vital in our classrooms. And again, of course, we are talking about our students that will be excellent professionals. Yes, they will be, but they will also be functional citizens in the 21st century. And this is why we have to also understand that teaching and learning languages, for example, English, is so important. Digital skills and English can help many of our adult learners get ahead in the workplace or prepare our younger learners for better job opportunities. And equally important, they can make our classes a lot more relevant and interesting in the here and now. So by using digital, by using technologies, by using these digital skills, we are not just giving the opportunity to our students to get more involved, to get more engaged. We will have better classes, we'll have better results, better outcome learning results. And of course, our students will be integrating this digital literacy labor market in an easier way. So by integrating digital literacy work into our English classes, for example, we can make them a little more relevant to who are learners and are once they are outside the school environment, because learning languages is not just to use languages inside universities, inside our classrooms. It is at the utmost importance to use outside the classroom and to use English language outside the classroom and in the labor market. So integrating digital literacy and language instruction is one of our tasks. So why is it so important and so challenging? We all know that students learn by practicing. So when we use exercises, when we use pedagogical innovation in our classrooms, students will get more interested. And computers and the internet are natural contexts to practice language skills for real life tasks. Learners can practice English when finding information on their child's school website, for example, researching the going rate for apartments in their area, for example, writing a resume, or using online learning programs. So it's very important to use instructional activities that provide both an opportunity to practice digital skills and strengthen the problem-solving process implicit in knowing what skill and use and when. So computers and the internet offer endless opportunities for language learners. Yes? So regarding 10 strategies for teaching English language learners as we all know, during the COVID-19 pandemics, teaching and learning online was absolutely vital for us. So teaching English language online also requires that we as teachers must adapt and must be flexible. So what can we do to enhance our possibilities and have better classes? So use your team. So constantly text, email, call, and video chat to discuss the best way to meet our students' needs. Use online tools to help assist students and their language needs. So use, for example, YouTube videos, recordings. We have to be using several pedagogical approaches in order to give our students interesting classes. Making work easily accessible. Use the online course management software Canvas, for example. It has been awesome in posting resources and lectures and notes and reading and quizzes. Let the students guide the instruction. Have them record, video, explain, and teach a vocab word, a topic, a story, etc. So by letting students have a voice in their learning, I'm sure we will have a win-win situation. And don't overwhelm your students, my dear colleagues, my dear fellow teachers. Remember, it's a typical high school day, for example. They have 5-7 different classes. Remember, English learners are still learning the language. Remember that we have to create an equilibrium between all the tasks. And of course, we have to be patient. In the educational field, we want things to move at our own pace, but sometimes less is more. So let's try and give the correct pace in our classrooms. Be flexible. Just like in the EL classroom, you need to be flexible in the online space as well. Use your aids. Use different aids. Use digital aids. Google Hangouts, for example, chat and video. This is a great help to connect with your students. Try something new. Don't worry, my dear friends and my dear colleagues. Try. You have to try. Why not using Quizlet and Flipgrid and Kahoot and discussion boards and TikTok and Twitter accounts and Instagram and social media? So why not using them as pedagogical innovation tools? If we use these tools, I'm sure our students will be very, very interested. And of course, breathe,
हाँ जी try something new. Maybe there is something
need to have
that
fun.
is wanted
They
to do
need
but
knowledge,
didn't have a chance.
they need
Online
the
learning
skills, but they
is
also need to have fun. So what about digital strategies to improve English teaching? For example, I will give you just a few ideas. Create and manage a website for your course. What about creating a website for your course? What about creating a website with your students? You can think about the platform, you can think about the website, you can think about the information that you're going to store there, text or video or photographs. You can discuss all this with your students. It will be a very interesting activity to be built with your students. Use active resources for the practice of listening comprehension. What about using podcasts, for example? What about using videos? And podcasts and videos are great tools. And students like using technology, as we all know. And podcasts and videos can help us um, um, by connecting these resources with our learning outcomes. Implement interactive games. So let us introduce technology and gamification into our classrooms. So this activity increases the students' attention and persistence and motivates them to participate and learn the language, for example. And they really like interactive games. Present oral augmentation activities. For example, oral production activities like exhibitions, like dialogues, like role-playing games are so interesting for them, and they enjoy and they have fun, and they must have fun. Promote more student autonomous work. So this means that you have to be confident and you have to rely on your students to be the change makers in the process, and in order to give them the ability to overcome difficulties and become the most important person in the class. So give them the opportunity to give, create, and share autonomous work. And also consider the teacher's role in a face-to-face virtual or hybrid model. Nowadays, we are returning to face-to-face classes, but we can also use virtual or hybrid models. And the COVID-19 pandemic taught us that we could adapt quickly to changes. So we can surely adapt, but of course we must have the tools, we must have the computers, we must have the internet connection. This is why we have to choose the best tools to teach our students. And of course, our most important conclusions regarding this topic. Language is our core business. Language is connected with all degrees, with all domains, with all scientific areas. Language is our core business in teaching, learning, and research. Language is vital for our educational process and system. Language is vital for building up our communities. Language is vital for international connections. Language is vital to bring people together, to work together, to join forces, to create teams, like in this conference, that we are creating a team because we are sharing knowledge, we are sharing our ideas, and by sharing, we all win. And by winning, we can build a better future for our students. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you, dear colleagues. And again, thank you very much to the organizing committee for inviting me.